Big story of the day is the Oklahoma City Thunder and their win over the Celtics last night. And Desmond Mason is in studio. And we'll do some Thunder. We'll do some Thunder. We'll do some NCAA tournament. But you want to tell people the story you just told me? He just got back from vacation, Todd. Like literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
And so you went to, did you go to Cabo? Is that where you went?
No, I went to Montana. I had an art exhibition in Montana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the Yellowstone Club in Big Sky. So
bunch of liberal pansies up that way in Montana.
So you fly, you're flying in and out of Dallas, correct?
yeah, well, I won't be long-winded about this, but it was we should totally write a book on this. Leaving out of town, heading to Montana, loaded up. Plenty of time, head to the airport. We get there, and we booked a flight about 5 months ago. Well, Delta pushed a flight an hour earlier. I've never even heard of that. But they sent out they sent out a request. I mean, they sent out some information in January, which we missed it. In January, that the flight was bumped an hour earlier. So we get there, plenty of time. Well, we think plenty of time. And we're like, okay, yeah, we're ready to get our tickets. And the guy goes, that flight's backing out. It's gone. And I'm like, what? So from there, we start looking at flights. Like, nope, don't have anything. Nope, don't have anything out of Oklahoma City. But there's something out of Dallas. It's 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I get in the car and drive to Dallas. Get to Dallas at midnight. Probably get to bed about 2, up at 4:30, on the flight at 6. But the flight's going to Salt Lake City, and from Salt Lake City, there's not another flight. So I get a driver to drive us 6 hours from Salt Lake City to Big Sky. Everything goes perfect, fun snowboarding. I about broke my neck, and show went well. On the way back home, we fly back to Dallas. Well, Salt Lake to Dallas, and the car is in Dallas now. So we get the car, and we're driving. Like, okay, well, it's a late flight, but we'll probably get home by 2:33 maybe. Everybody sleep in the car. But fire trucks and ambulances are coming off the highway. I jump in front of them so I don't get caught behind them. I go and they continue to follow me, so I know there's probably something up front. And I get over the hill, and it's just dead stop traffic right before the border. And so I exit, go around, and see there's something on the bridge. I come back and get back in traffic, and that's about 1 or so, 1:15.
And this is earlier this morning. It's 9 hours ago.
1:15 this morning, yeah. So we're sitting there. Everybody falls asleep in the car. I'm falling asleep. I'm in and out of sleep, listening to the radio.
Because you guys are dead stopped.
There's people are outside, smoking cigarettes. People got their dogs out. Semis are stopped. Everybody's stopped. The cars are off. And so all of a sudden, I wake up, and I'm the only car on the highway, pretty much. And but they had just released the cars about 20 minutes before. That was at about 6:30 a.m. So from 1:30 to 6:30, 5 hours of dead stop traffic. So we take off. I got in Oklahoma City, got coffee, got a donut, went home, unloaded luggage, took a shower, drove here. But it was a semi on the bridge crossing the river. 2 commercial vehicles collided, and a semi flipped that was full of cattle. So
oh my gosh,
there was cattle all over the highway, hurt. Dead cattle roaming the highway, the bridge. So that was the situation. But I'm here, man. I'm here.
Well,
I'm barely here.
I'm glad you came.
I'm barely here.
I mean, I wouldn't have come if I were you.
All I got out of that whole story was you ate a donut, and you should eat healthier for breakfast.
Hey, I'm telling you, I'm going to eat healthier after, but I had to get something. I'm on films right now, man.
Yeah, I mean, somebody give him another donut.
I'm shaking, I'm sweating, I have 0. Yeah. My blood sugar is low.
He doesn't have enough sugar here right now, Todd. We got to get him some more. I'm glad you came, and thank you for coming.
Wouldn't miss it. It's been a while.
It has been a while. So I hesitate to ask you anything, very specific with the Thunder because you've been out of town. So, I mean, maybe I should just leave the floor to you here. I mean, anything popping out to you right now?
Man, I've been watching the games and highlights, the games I couldn't catch. I caught the I think it was the ABC game. But highlights and stuff, kind of following it. Obviously, Serge, the injury and the surgery, and they always say procedure. It's surgery. Just say surgery.
Yeah, I talked about this on the air. Why do they even say? Why is there even a difference?
Just say surgery. I think it sounds softer, but
right.
I think that's a big blow. They're still up, and they're in 8 now. But we're still waiting to see. But Russell's still playing well. I think the big thing with Russell is he's been pressing and getting himself in turnover trouble. I still think some other guys have to step up. I just think the Boston game, when people were a little bit concerned about the game, I know Boston's been playing well, but it's Boston. They should beat Boston, But the way they played, they could have easily gotten beat as well. The Dallas game was a blow, and there were some bad calls down the stretch, and I don't know. They're still on that roller coaster ride playing, but that comes from injuries, and I think Scott's doing the best he can what he has right now.
Would you be surprised if they didn't make the tournament?
Not the
playoffs.
I
got NCAA
tournament's on the mind, man.
Yeah. Tournament.
It's a glorified tournament. That's all.
Would you be surprised if they don't make the Sweet 16?
That's what it is.
It is
the Sweet 16. We know the Celtics might be there. Will the Thunder? Will you be surprised at all?
Honestly, I wouldn't. If they didn't make it, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. I talked about it. We talked about it, David Garrett and John Roddy on all our pregame shows. We talk about it pretty consistently, where they stand and how important these games are. And John does a really good job at, dialing down what they need to do from a win-loss standpoint. But I wouldn't be surprised they didn't make it. Obviously I'm a OKC guy, and I want them to make the playoffs. It'll be good for everybody, for the city. But, when you look at the situation and the injuries and, the inconsistency, if they don't make it, there's a lot of reasons why they didn't make it. So, and some of them are unfortunate, but it's the nature of the game.
We've done this with you before, and because you have been the guy I'm always telling the people in here, and and it's become somewhat of a campaign of mine, I guess, and people make fun of me for it, and that's okay. But I'm like, will everybody stop? I know people are like, well, I don't really mean it this way, but everybody says must win. Like, this is a must win. This is a must win. This is a must win. And I'm like, everybody just shut up. There's still 15 games left. Whatever. If you were in the locker room right now, your upcoming games are home to the Hawks, home to the Heat, home to the Lakers, at San Antonio, at Utah, at Phoenix. That's the rest of your month. So one more time. Home to the Hawks, home to the Heat, home to the Lakers, at San Antonio, at Utah, at Phoenix. How would you break it down if you were in there? Because, I know we got to win this game, but how would you, if you were the guy in there leading the show, how would you kind of break it down? Like, this is what we got to do in this stretch, guys.
Yeah, I think the road games, you got to split road games. That's just, I think the standard is you split road games and you have to take care of home. You can't drop home games, and I think home games, against teams that you should beat them convincingly so you can get your starters some rest. Give your other guys opportunity to play. I think that's big. Road games, you got to split. Road games are hard. Even if they're teams that you should beat on the road, those teams still can make it a game on the road. So, the way I approach that is that, hey, fellas, we have to take care of home, regardless of who comes into our arena. We have to take care of home. And once we go on the road, we got to at least split and maybe still another one. But, we cannot drop home games. And we have to get road wins. You can't win in the playoffs anyway if you can't get road wins, consistently. So we have to get road wins. And, if it was me, that's how I would break it down, because that's how coaches broke it down to me when I was a player in my days.
San Antonio, Utah, Phoenix. So those are the 3 road games. So,
and don't look now, but Utah's playing a lot better, too.
They are playing better.
I feel like, is there anybody not playing good right now? I feel like everyone's playing good. The Celtics are playing good.
The Raptors are playing terrible right now. Compared to how they were playing. The Mavericks had a little dip there for a while. Spurs they lost to the Knicks a couple nights ago.
Yeah. This is the time of year. Again, we and I bring this up because we talk so much basketball, during our our pregame shows, with Roddy and Dave Garrett. But we talked about when post All-Star break, what happens? Everyone steps it up a notch. You'll start to see teams really compete post All-Star breaks. You'll start to see coaches put in new offensive schemes, new defensive schemes. when you're playing against those teams, they got play calls that, wasn't on the scouting report. And we pretty much know everything, but they got play calls that wasn't on the scouting report pregame.
Can you give me an example of that happening to you? Like in one of your teams?
A good one when I was in Milwaukee. And I guarded Rip Hamilton all the time. And, when you got to be in shape to guard that guy. He never stops running. And they're screening over and over and over and over for him. And so I can remember a play they ran, and I remember it like it was yesterday. They had Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace at the elbow. I'd never seen it before, and Chauncey Billups made the call. They ran a cross screen on the base because they knew that me and Michael Redd would switch it. And so I switched off on Tayshaun Prince, but they ran it for that purpose, to get me off a rip. And when they did that, Tayshaun sprinted to the corner. I sprinted about halfway with him. And they literally circle Rip around both screens once. And then he went around the second time. Tayshaun Prince followed him, and they did a double fade screen on Michael Redd. They nailed him. He was nowhere to be found. And I chased Tayshaun out as well. So they even caught me slipping. And Rip Hamilton caught the ball and went to the basket. It was not, they had never ran it. It wasn't on the scouting report. We played him 4 times. This was playoff time. It was just one of those plays that they incorporated.
This is a total brand new play.
We never saw it. And that's why, when he was open for a layup, he could have made the layup twice. There was nobody close.
So that's the kind of stuff that you will see here late in the year.
You're going to see play. You're going to start seeing out of bounds play calls, set play calls, and you'll see guys just literally get burned. And when you see a guy really get burned, it's because it's a new play and no one knows it yet.
You ever see that? Up on it yet. You ever see that with the Thunder?
No, no. I'm not seeing it now.
I'm just talking about in previous years late.
Oh well, you can always see it. I can't pick out a specific instance, but yeah, you can always see it. It's going to always happen, especially against good teams. Like if you remember last year, watching San Antonio, and they talked about the ball movement. Well, it wasn't just ball movement; it was player movement as well. There was so many screens, guys were so wide open, but that was because Pop put in a few new things. Everybody could see that, and they're just rotating the ball and moving the ball. It happens all the time.
All right, Todd, are we making the switch over here to a little college basketball here? If we are, go ahead and play your little clip here.
Hazelton's got it. End to end, he'll come. Leaves it for Rogers for 3 for the win. Western Kentucky doesn't break.
We're trying to guess the year. I am going to say on that one, I'm going to go 2009.
2008.
Oh.
Western Kentucky defeats Drake on Ty Rogers 3-pointer.
Ty Rogers.
That's good. I like that.
Yep. That's a tough
Makes
game.
you 1 for 3 so far.
Yeah, I'm 1 for 3. I've been 1 year off on the other 2. 1 year. Give me a break.
Now, we played Valpo to start. You want to guess that year?
Valpo was 98, right?
Yes. So you're 2 for 4. There you go.
Boom!
Dang.
Mic drop.
Better than me.
That's right.
Desmond, the
like
Bryce
76.
Drew Valpo shot was in the incomparable myriad. Did you ever get a chance to play in the incomparable myriad?
No.
Look how sad he is. He's just so sad he never got to play there.
No.
What a bummer. By the way, with the amount of emphasis that you put on incomparable, are you like the only one left saying it? That's what I picture.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a throwback.
Like it truly is incomparable. Like nothing can be compared.
So you in college, Desmond, now correct me if I'm wrong, but you were in the tournament 3 out of 4 years, right? Your last 3 years, correct?
Yep.
And the first 2 years you made it to the second round. And the third year was when you guys lost to Florida in the regional final.
Yeah.
Is there anything that stands out to you about playing in the NCAA tournament? Just when I say NCAA tournament, you played in it, what's the first thing that comes to mind for you?
You mean in general or just like individual?
Just in
year?
general.
In general, just the experience, man. Being away with your boys in the hotel and, just the camaraderie. It's just a different camaraderie than playing conference play. It's just a whole different vibe, a different feel. It's the big stage, and it feels that way. And then I can remember those cookies at the DoubleTree.
Oh, yeah, DoubleTree cookies.
We walked in, so good.
Come on.
Buffalo, New York, DoubleTree cookies.
Oh, there is nothing like a good DoubleTree cookie.
Buffalo, New York, man, they send you to the prime location.
I know. That was my first and only hockey game I got to see. Coach Sutton took us to the place that invented buffalo wings, and he took us to see Buffalo play, and they had Dominic Hasek, the goalie. He was doing a splits on skates. I was like, man, I'm gonna doing a splits on skates. I was 21.
That's awesome.
I was so
the
impressed.
first place they invented buffalo wings. That's awesome.
Oh, it was so good. They really weren't that good, but it
Doesn't matter.
It was kind of cool.
It's the
yeah.
novelty of it.
I was like, man, my cousin make buffalo wings better than this.
Eddie was kind of that was a cool experience.
It was a great experience.
From
I
Eddie
went to
Sutton
Buffalo,
there.
New York. We did Niagara Falls, man. It was so cool.
Look at that. Look at that.
Do you now in 2000 you guys lost to Florida in the regional finals? Does
Yeah.
that game still haunt you? Do you think you should have won that game, or do you feel like Florida was the better team that day?
I think they were the better team that day. I mean, I think we had a chance to win the game, but they were good. I mean, they were a really good team. They had a crew, and but you know, the 2 years prior, those are the years that just ate me up, because those are years that we shouldn't have lost some games. I mean, we got screwed by Duke. You know, with
Join the club on that one, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was so
you
bad.
and every other player
Every
that
other
ever
team
played
that's ever
college
played.
basketball.
It's good to be screwed like a bunch of fouls throughout the course of the game, but you know, when the game's on the line and Brett Robish set the high pick, set the high screen up top. Adrian Peterson jumps up, knocks down a tray, puts us up by 2. They call it an illegal screen and wave the basket off. I'm literally like 5 seconds after the call. The referee comes running in, waving his hands all over the place, and Coach Sutton absolutely loses. And we're playing in Kentucky, and Coach Sutton absolutely loses his mind.
Well,
Yeah, so
what's worse? I mean, losing like that or losing to Tulsa? Tulsa, Des. Tulsa. Which one's worse?
I would much rather lose to Duke.
I mean, I don't mean to rub it in.
At least I got to play against Duke. We got to compete against the big boys.
but yeah, let's see. I'm looking at your other tournament stops. You guys lost to Louisville in '99. Would that be '99 or '98?
We didn't lose to Louisville. I never played Louisville.
Did you not play Louisville?
No, you got.
Oh well, I got the wrong bracket. Wrong bracket. Wrong bracket.
What you looking at? Wrong school.
Yeah, you never lost to Tulsa in the tournament either.
I looked at the wrong one.
Lost to Duke in '98, lost to Auburn in '99.
Yeah. Oh, Auburn.
That was. I put that on. You know what? I'm not gonna throw my teammate under the bus.
No, put it on.
Do it.
Put it
Come
on.
on.
Do it. Come on. Let's go.
I think he's fresh out of prison anyway. Glennon Alexander. He had the kid. I can't remember his name. Came off the bench. Little shooter. I think he averaged like 5 or 6 points a game, and he went off for like 23. He had like 5 threes. Glennon couldn't keep up with him. I was flipping out. Coach was flipping out. I told Coach to take Glennon out of the game.
Auburn was a 1 seed that year?
They were good. They had Chris, whatever his name was, Chris with the big fro that was really athletic. I shut that boy down, though. And gave him buckets.
And gave him buckets. Look at
Gave him
you.
buckets. Look it up.
I don't even know.
Did Glennon Alexander before the game happen to rent any pay-per-view movies at the hotel?
Oh, come on now.
Have you ever heard that story, Zach?
I believe I've heard bits and pieces of it. I
Doug
think
Gottlieb
so.
claims that Glennon Alexander might have run his DirecTV bill up at his parents' house one time.
Yes, I have heard that.
If he'll snag some credit cards from his coaches, he'll definitely run up a TV bill.
Yeah, Oklahoma State lost to Tulsa in '93. I had pulled up the wrong bracket.
Yeah,
I was like, "What?"
You put me that old?
No, I'm not putting you that old, man. I would never do that. What are you, 24?
Yes.
But no, that's another. So what was the other one? So you lost to Duke.
Auburn. Auburn and Florida.
Most heartbroken that Desmond Mason has ever been in college basketball is
Senior year, losing senior night, and got a drive against OU.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was worse than losing to Florida in the Elite Eight.
Absolutely.
Really?
Wow. Where would you?
Let me ask you this: was it any different? Like you knew you were going to play at the next level, right?
I don't
think you did. We've had that conversation.
I had aspirations. I was not on anybody's list when I came out of college.
Really?
He's
I
told
had to
that
fight
story
it.
that he got, like, I guess somebody called your agent the night before and said,
Well, we called the league telling them that we belonged in a green room, and David Stern said, I don't know where you're getting your information, but your guy's not going that high. And I was drafted, and there was still 4 guys in the green room.
"Is that right?"
Yeah, I was.
Ooh, I bet you were double middle fingering the TV screen.
I was basking in it. That's why he bought my painting. That's why he was trying to kiss up.
That was the mea culpa.
He was trying to kiss up.
Had you not been drafted, would you have gone and played overseas?
Yeah.
So you were planning on doing that for a living?
Yeah, my agent played overseas for 9 years, so he had it all locked up. But we knew when I went to Chicago and I didn't have to play in that pre-draft, that means you're really in a good spot when you don't have to play in Chicago. I just went and did all my testing and got my measurements. And then I just started working out for teams. And, we had about 4 teams want to do, hey, we want him to come back out again. And my agent was like, nope, you saw him the first time. Moving on. Oof. And so we worked out 16 times, man. Yeah, I think the next closest guy in my draft class worked out 12. I worked out for 16 teams.
Woo.
It was a busy summer.
How about this that year? Not to rub it in, but it's going to sound like it. In 2000, when Florida beat you, Florida was a 5, okay, and they did not end up winning the national title that year. Michigan State did. Mm-hmm. Michigan State was the only 1 seed that made the Final Four that year. You were a 3 that year. Florida beat you as a 5. Mm-hmm. So you've got a 1 seed in Michigan State. They beat Florida, I think, in the national championship game, a 5 seed.
Yep.
The other 2 teams there were 8s.
Yeah, we belong there. Because if we beat Florida, we beat Ohio State. And I think Florida beat Ohio State the next round, if I'm not mistaken.
It was probably Wisconsin.
I'm sorry.
Wisconsin was an 8, and North Carolina
who did
was
Florida
an 8.
play the next round? They played Ohio State after us, right?
No. They would have played. Florida beat North Carolina in the Final Four.
Okay.
And Michigan State beat Wisconsin.
Okay, I'm sorry, North Carolina. Yeah. So yeah, we felt we belonged. We felt we. Had
You would have beat
Florida.
You would have played an 8 seed in the Final Four. You would have played North Carolina in the Final Four. They were an 8.
Yeah. So you are kind of rubbing.
Now, do you guys get like Desmond Mason is with us, by the way, here on 107.7 The Franchise. Do you guys get like a swag bag when you go to the NCAA tournament?
Yeah.
Kind of like college football players get with bowl.
I don't think it's that extravagant.
Yeah, no. Let's not.
Right,
get
they get like
it.
big screen TVs.
That's how it was when you go to the All-Star. When I went to the dunk contest and did all that stuff. They were good.
What was the best swag bag you got?
It was All-Star weekend. It had.
Remember anything in it?
I remember I got my first iPod.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. They used to do like the little.
It was back when the iPod was brand new,
and
right?
Palm Pilots.
Oh, Palm Pilots
were good.
I had a Palm Pilot for a minute.
Headphones. You got really nice. You got cool shoes and a lot of gear. NCAA, you get a pen. And like maybe like a Nike
get like
sweat,
the golf tournament bag.
That somebody can hear you coming from like 2 miles away.
It's a great episode with that.
They don't make any money on the tournament, so they can't afford to buy.
They don't make any money.
My God, NCAA and their good old. Don't get me started with them.
Now, NCAA tournament, you have the open practices, right?
Yeah.
Now, surely
I bet
those
that was Desmond Mason's time to shine then.
Now, you probably loved it because Coach probably didn't get after you like he did at a closed practice, correct?
No, Coach didn't play games.
So it wasn't, your open practice wasn't a glorified shoot around then?
No.
At the NCAA tournament?
We dove on the floors and we did our same drills. We did the IBA drill, which is a really hard drill. But, but you have your warm-up lines too. Like we go through our warm-up stuff, the guards and bigs break up. And I worked on both ends because I would run to the post sometimes and I played on the perimeter most of the time. So I had plenty of opportunities to dunk and be crazy and which is always fun. I did it in warm-up lines. I did it. I've been doing it since high school, so it was fun, though. When you got all those cameras around, you got to show out a little bit.
Yeah, got to show out. Got to show out. All right, Des is in studio with us. He is on fumes. He is munching on an oversized donut, and that's not enough sugar for him. He has been up since last night. He's been up for 24 hours.
Pretty much.
With the exception of a nap actually on a 4-lane highway. So, with the exception of that, he has been up for over 24 hours, and he's going to join us for another half hour, and more of that next on the franchise.
Skaters with a chance to win it. Will Cinderella arrive? Miller in the lane, puts it up. Florida wins. Florida wins. Mike Miller with the winner at the buzzer.
How big were those missed free throws, Jim? They would have needed a 3.
That is another March Madness clip Todd's playing and trying to get me to guess the year. Do you want to guess the year, Des?
If it's
Mike Miller.
If it's Mike Miller, let's just say 2000.
I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go 99.
That was the 2000 NCAA tournament. That was
So they just survived to get to you that
exactly.
year. Oh.
Yeah, they beat Butler in the first round.
Did they beat? Was that game against St. Bonaventure?
No, that was against Butler.
Oh, against Butler. I'm sorry, you just said
Yeah.
Butler.
And I remember that game.
That's right, Butler.
Scott Rovis transferred from Oklahoma State and went to Butler.
In fact, you want to
Todd Licklider was the coach of that Butler team.
You want to talk about some crazy local ties with that buzzer beater? Florida that year was a 5 seed, beat the 12 seed Butler on that buzzer beater. They then played the 4 seed Illinois and beat them. Illinois coached by
Lon Kruger.
And then went on to beat Oklahoma State in the Elite Eight. How about that?
Wow.
How about that? Good work, Todd.
Beat Duke in the Sweet 16 that year.
Now, Todd, if you will move on to a much more interesting story. What do you got there on your computer screen there?
Well, Michael
we need
Phelps.
to set up our Desmond Mason thing here. Desmond Mason with us, brought to you by Urban Johnny Grill and Bar.
That's my daddy.
His daddy's name is Johnny, and so we say it's his daddy's bar. It is not his daddy's bar.
It's not my daddy's bar, but it sounds like my daddy.
But we do. It is sponsored by Urban Johnny's. Whenever Desmond Mason comes in here on No Sleep, and we have had this ongoing thing with Michael Phelps because one of the first times that Des came in here this season, there was a story going around with Michael Phelps that he was, I guess, had just broken up with
A dude.
I guess you could put it that way. Yes. Although, what do you call those? What do you call those people that are?
Those people? Oh, so they're those people that.
I mean, I don't know what do you say? No, the ones that are they get a sex change. I mean, I forget what you call them.
Oh, last time you asked me what do you call those people, the answer was African American.
No, no.
And now Clayton Bixby's on the mic.
No, don't you do this? See, this is what Joe Atkins always does this to me too, and now Todd's gonna do it. No.
Those people.
Transgender.
Transgender.
I believe is what you're looking for.
Not those
people. Come on, that's not even fair.
Way to get him.
Let me guess. You think all transgender people look alike too?
That was pretty funny.
That woke me
was
up
funny.
right there. That woke me up.
All right, you win. This time you win. All right. So anyway, we have this ongoing story that we've been laughing at with Michael Phelps because one of the first times we came in, he was dating one of those people, and the transgenders, and so that at least that was the story. So now and then, Des told us he's like, he got my buddy, and we're like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of uncomfortable. So let's make it more uncomfortable.
For me too, it was uncomfortable.
Yeah. What you got here, Todd?
And you guys, I held this secret. I've been away from the media, so now I don't know. I'm kind of nervous.
Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps this is according to the Daily Mail, the British paper.
Yep.
Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps is once again having the alleged details of his sexual escapade shared by a former partner. Kids, parents, do yourself a favor. Kids in the car. Turn it down, count to about 100, and then turn it back on.
Give him a second. Give him a second to change it.
I'm doing this for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I know it's spring break week. This time, it's Kim Petro, no relation to Johan Petro, a 36-year-old plus size dominatrix from New York City.
Ooh.
Who is detailing her wild night spent with the swimmer.
It is her. It is her.
Yes.
Okay.
One that she claims involved, and I can't say what this is, but we'll just say it rhymes with a bolden flower.
Bolden flower.
Let me write it down.
And it also involved Michael Phelps wearing women's underwear.
This right here. You know what that is, right?
Oh man, please.
That.
Yeah.
A bolden flower.
No way.
And then what? What was the extra?
He also was wearing women's underwear, Michael Phelps. Petro says that Phelps contacted her in February 2013 and paid a $900 donation.
Oh, a donation.
For her to come to his hotel room at the London in Manhattan. This after an online posting that said, quote, all natural, super busty fetish provider with all the right curves in all the right places. Time with me is time well spent. Nothing shocks me. Don't be shy. Phelps called her on his cell phone, said his name was Fabian Marisculo.
Now we know what his fake name is. Fabian.
Fabian Marisculo actually happens to be a Miami music producer who's close to Phelps' good friend, rapper Lil Wayne.
I don't forget. Wayne says his name all the time in songs.
When he said
really?
When he said drink some water before I get to the hotel, I knew what I was in for, said Petro.
Oh, no. No. The bold and flower.
I'm about to throw up my donut.
When she got to the hotel room, she claims that Phelps removed his shirt and then shorts to reveal that he was wearing, quote, skimpy women's underwear. They then smoked a little weed, according to Petro, and got down to business. I got above him. Time for the bold and flower. After I was done, he asked if it was okay to take care of himself.
This cannot be true. This cannot be true.
At which point she noticed that he had a string wrapped around his genitalia.
No.
And he asked her to pull the string.
Okay.
I'm totally about to
That's enough.
Yes.
That is enough. Thank you,
That's the
Todd.
latest on Michael Phelps.
Thank you, Todd, for the latest Michael Phelps news.
Okay.
Kids, if you heard that, Zach made me do it.
No, I did not.
You did
No,
too.
I absolutely did not. What happened during the break, Des? Todd hits his talk back. Goes, hey man, we gotta get Des involved in this Michael Phelps thing.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, if you see these two, don't hang out.
No,
Snitches get stitches.
No. Snitches get stitches. I don't
Y'all
do
like
that stuff.
you like my kids right now. Yo, Daddy, he did it. No, you did it. No, he did it.
Oh, do you tell them that all the time? Snitches get stitches.
Oh, they tell all the time. All they do is snitch on each other. That is good. Oh my gosh!
Don't turn the
There's the dominatrix.
turn the monitor around, Todd. I don't want to see.
Look at the picture.
No.
It's clean.
I don't care.
That is so gross. Come on.
I'm not. Turn it up. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Come on, MP. Get it together.
Oh,
Get it together.
what
you doing with your life?
we come back. We cleanse ourselves.
Obviously, Bolden Tower or whatever you guys said was. Bolden Flower.
Golden flower. I meant what we're going to do here is we're going to come back after cleansing ourselves.
I want to throw up.
And we're going to get a couple picks from Des on the bracket. Okay. See if he's got anything hanging out there or if he even cares. And then a little bit of I tell you what, man. 88474. If you want to get in on the text line, type in the word text in a space, then I tell you what, man. Or you can tweet it at Big Easy at Todd on Franchise.
Desmond's got this look on
why are you
his face
shaking
like
your
you've
head?
been dropping gas in there for the last 5 minutes.
But I haven't.
He's so disgusted just by what he heard.
Appalled.
He's not. He is. He's appalled. Look
Appalled.
at him. He is appalled.
I don't know what to say.
While he is just laughing his head off, appalled, but he is appalled at the same time.
Can you give another man dap after hearing that story? Can you give him a man dap, hug, little shoulder bump?
No.
Don't touch me.
Absolutely not.
Don't touch me.
No. So what are you gonna do next time?
Antibacterial gel.
Next time you see him, what's up? What are you gonna do?
Drink a lot of water
I'm
first.
away from afar.
No, you're not. He's gonna come up to you and he's gonna want some dap, and then you're gonna do what?
He better be really fast running. I know he's a fast swimmer, so I'm gonna make sure I'm not in the water.
Can you imagine that encounter? Michael's like, hey, Dad, what's up?
No.
Comes over for some dap.
Hey, MP, don't touch me.
You're going to go Howie Mandel on him.
I read
is
the
what you're
story.
gonna do.
I read the
Fist
story.
bump
Don't
and
touch
that's
me.
it, maybe?
Don't touch me, you and your Bolden flowers. You listen to Rihanna Umbrella.
All right. I tell you what, man, coming up next.
Here goes the long pass with 1 second to go. The shot. Yes! The shot's going to count. The shot by Tate George wins it.
That was Connecticut, right? That was
Yep, Tate George for Connecticut over Syracuse.
1990.
Got it right on the number.
Wow.
Well done.
3 out of 5.
That boy good.
3 out of 5.
No, 3 out of 6. You missed Mike Miller.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
right.
missed Mike
I was
Miller.
off by a year on that. Anybody stand out in your bracket here, Des? Des is getting, I think.
My bracket is.
You did it just like me. You filled yours out today, huh?
No. I fill mine out.
Oh, you got it, huh?
Yeah. Right day before the tournament? Well, right after the selection.
Do you have who's the sleeper? You got sure everybody's got one that's not supposed to be in the Sweet 16 that is in the Sweet 16 that you've outthinked everyone on.
In the Sweet 16.
Or are you a chalk guy?
I kind of go for the juggler, so I don't really get too caught up in sleepers. I kind of kept it pretty well.
Really?
Yeah, I got Eastern Washington.
Winning 2 games?
Yeah.
I think that would qualify. Yeah. 13 seed, making the Sweet 16 would absolutely qualify.
I'm getting blasted by Duke.
Yeah, that might happen. So your championship game?
My championship game is Kentucky-Duke.
Who you got? And why?
I got Kentucky. Too big. Too much defense.
What do you say to the people that say, like Larry Brown? Larry Brown just came out and said yesterday, that this Kentucky team could vie for a spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs.
Larry Brown's losing his mind, and I respect Larry Brown, but he's NBA and college is just way different. If you put them against any NBA team right now, there's no way they win.
What about D-League?
They can probably beat some D-League teams, but they can't beat an NBA team. And I don't think there's very many D-League teams that they're going to beat.
Yeah, I mean, it would be tough.
Yeah,
I mean,
you.
I do think though. I'm like, okay, the team led by Josh Hustis. Yeah, okay, I think Kentucky can beat them.
I'm gonna tell you this much: in the East, you don't even have to have a coach. There's not an NBA team that would even allow a college team to beat them. I don't care how bad they are. The players will not allow it.
They will not allow it.
They don't need a coach. They just won't let it happen. They just go out and beat them off of talent alone.
Death to Yoko on Twitter, whoever that is.
Wow.
I guess that would explain why this tweet would come in like this. At Todd on Franchise, I hated you until #Boldenflower. You are now my idol.
Boldenflower was genius.
All right, Todd, are we ready? Did you get your screen fixed?
Shannon on Twitter also corrected me, and I have to say thank you, Shannon. You are correct. That was over Clemson, not over Syracuse.
Yeah.
The Tate George shot. I think I said Syracuse. Orange jerseys had me fooled.
Yeah. If you are ready, then it is time now for I Tell You What, man.
It's going to be 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Tell everyone what happened to me.
All right, so Todd had his Todd,
I had to turn the screen around to show you guys a picture of the dominatrix.
It serves you right. Yeah. You shouldn't have ever turned your monitor
what's her name
around.
Again?
It's Petro. I know that.
Petro.
No relation to Johan
No
Petro.
relation to Johan.
So Todd turns his monitor in the other room around so we can see this dominatrix, which nobody wanted to see.
They did.
We did not want to see it. And so he turned it around, and when he turned it back around to face him again, he turned off the monitor, and when it came back on, the orientation was sideways. So for the entire commercial break, Todd had his ear to his shoulder, looking at the screen sideways, and he is now very, very excited that he finally got it right.
Got it fixed.
I tell you what, man, sometimes you just got to let the people know something random.
I like to eat ice cream, and I really enjoy a nice pair of slacks.
I tell you what, man, Bill Belichick looks a lot like my brother.
Hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like The Lord of the Rings.
Like, OMG, that's so random.
It's time for I'll Tell You What, man.
All right, I tell you what, man. This might be, of all the crazy Desmond Mason shows that we have had, this one likely qualifies as the craziest.
Yeah.
That's how I'm starting my I Tell You What, man, today.
I like it.
Yeah. Todd, you got one?
I'll tell you what, man. Even if I lost a whole bunch of weight, and I'm about to embark on that journey here really soon, even if I lost a whole bunch of weight, I would still choose the table over the booth. The booth is uncomfortable, restricting.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that.
Always take a table.
I agree.
You know, my on Open Table, you know the app Open Table, you ever use that?
Yes.
Des, where you can make a reservation on your phone at a lot of restaurants. And I've just always had in there, no booth, please, because I'm a big fatso. And Lady Easy out of nowhere, like about a year ago, I dropped a bunch of weight. She said, do you care if we sit in this booth? I was like, I don't think I've been in a booth in 5 years. This is going to be weird. So I sat there and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of, I'll sit here for you this time, but can we not do this ever again?
I don't like it.
I'm not feeling it. What you got, Des?
I tell you what, man, Bolden flowers are gross. I just had to get that out there.
I tell you what, man. How many times do I have to cash in this FanDuel game before everybody else starts getting embarrassed around here, Todd?
How many times have you cashed?
That's 3 now.
3?
Are you familiar with FanDuel, Des?
No. Enlighten me.
Daily fantasy leagues. So we have a partnership now, Todd and I do, and Andrew Gilman with FanDuel, where every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we do a league with the listeners, and it's just for that night. And you pay $5, is like $225 in prizes every night given away. And I've cashed in it 3 times. We've played it 8. And Todd's cashed in it a couple times. Andrew Gilman doesn't know even. I don't think he knows what cash is. So he doesn't cash. But I'm tired of winning. Not really, but kind of. What you got? Any more? Or are you done?
Oh, no, I got it.
Turning down the music here.
No, I'll just crank it down. I thought it was a little too loud. I'll tell you what, man. We are less than an hour away from the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, man.
Yep. We absolutely are.
I'll tell you what, man. Don't try to call me and talk to me, small talk, for the next 2 days.
Yep.
You're going straight to voicemail.
Totally agree.
Text is the way to communicate over the next 2 days.
I'll tell you what, man. Russell Westbrook is officially the best point guard in the NBA.
Whoa! You're going to wait till 10:52 to drop that on us?
Absolutely.
What'd you think about that, Todd? How about you take that home and, well, I better not use that terminology after what we heard in the last segment.
Walk-in triple-double.
Todd's going to come back at you after.
I'll tell you what, man. Russell Westbrook is averaging 7 turnovers a game in March.
There it is.
I tell you what, man, he's a walking triple-double.
Yeah.
The best point guard in the NBA.
I'll tell you what, man, everyone would be a walking triple-double if the Thunder stat crew was keeping stats for them.
Did you hear that story?
No.
Westbrook had 9 rebounds.
Oh, I did hear that one.
He went up for a tip rebound or a tip attempt, and Todd accused the home statistician of being a little too loose with the definition of a rebound.
I'll give you this, Des. He's the best point guard in the NBA this year.
That's why I just said officially the best point guard in the NBA.
Yeah, if he is this year, then he is right now.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'd say Curry's been better than him this year.
Oh, look at him backtracking. Look at him backtracking.
I think he's had some big games, but I don't think across the board he's been better than Russell.
So if it was a point guard draft, Zach, you would take Russell Westbrook number 1.
Right now?
Yes.
Yes.
I would too.
For your team the next 5 years.
Well, can you count on Steph Curry? That ankle might fall off in 2 months.
5 years would be tough because I keep on thinking about Russ's 3 knee surgeries.
Well, I'd take Russell's ceiling, no doubt.
But if you told me all of them were going to stay injury free for the rest of their career, I'll take Russ.
I'll tell you what, man. If I've learned one thing about the NBA this season, it's that if you go to the basket out of control, you're going to get a foul call.
That's true. Absolutely.
Because when you fall down because you're off balance and out of control, especially if you're a good player, they're going to assume somebody hit you and made you fall.
Wait a minute, Todd. Russ went out of control. We just talked about this the other night. Russ went out of control and got a charge.
No, I said nothing about Russell Westbrook.
Anybody. Which is true.
No. What I'm telling you is Russ did it the other night. We talked about it for 5 minutes. Russ did it the other night, went out of control, and he got a charge called on him.
Yeah, they're either going to call a charge or they're going to call him. There's going to be a foul call.
So it won't go towards the offensive player every time. It won't go in favor of the offense. They'll just be
obviously it won't go in favor of the offense player every time. He shot 22 free throws last night.
I tell you what, man.
A hater.
Oh, well, yeah. I was about to get to that.
Tell you what, man. Todd is a hater.
There's some hateration being thrown around.
Yeah, he's out of haterade.
Big old cup of haterade.
I'll tell you what, man. If I had it to do all over again and I was playing basketball starting my career now, every time I practice a three-pointer, I would fall after I shot it. Because Russell Westbrook gets at least one call a game just because he's falling down.
He got called for an offensive foul for that last night.
Steph does it too.
They
all do it.
I'm not saying just him, but I watch Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
every
they all
game.
do it. All of them do it. James Harden.
That was the first time I had seen Russ get called for an offensive foul
For
doing
kicking
it.
his feet?
Yeah, he kicked his feet out.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the text line here real quick.
Hey, man.
Oh, you got another one? Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Lay's potato chips with hot sauce. Deliciousness.
You start over.
I'll tell you what, man. Lay's potato chips with hot sauce is delicious.
That does sound pretty good. I don't think I've done that before.
I've been eating them since I was 10, and I had some the other day. So this
Man, all the I'll tell you what mans on the text line are about Bolden flowers.
Are they? Should we not do it? Should we not get to
Well,
it?
like
none
this,
about dudes and ladies' underwear.
I'll tell you what, I'd give Michael Phelps a Bolden flower for $900, man. That's
Ew.
what someone says.
I hope that's a lady, or is that
Okay.
that one of those kind?
$900.
Those people.
I tell you what, man, I love chewing only one piece of gum at a time.
Des, do you chew one piece of gum at a time, or are you a more than one piece guy?
More than one piece.
See, why are they individually wrapped?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but it's like it deteriorates. It goes away like that.
Yeah.
I want the
That's
last a little
my
bit.
keep the
idea.
flavor.
Tell me if you agree this is a brilliant idea. The hunk of gum, like just a big chunk out of it, and you can pull a piece off of it.
That is just gross, kind of.
That's what I said. I'm all
It's
about.
resealable.
Are you gonna wash your hands every time you do it?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like yeah, right. Like you're gonna wash your hands every time.
It's resealable. You just take a bite out of it, put it back in the bag, and close it.
So if somebody wants a piece of gum, what you gonna do?
It's too bad. It's my gum.
That's just
Or you can
selfish.
take a bite out the other side.
It should be like it's called selfish chew.
I mean, you could just pull it off.
I mean, Big League Chew is what you have to go with, or the bubble tape,
Yeah,
if you don't want to deal with wrappers.
Big league.
that's
Chew.
true. I used to love Big League Chew.
Coach Williams on Twitter. I tell you what, man, Todd is the Skip Bayless of the franchise. Drew on Twitter. I tell you what, man, working outside in the rain sucks. Especially when you have a Nancy coworker. Drew, I'm not calling out your boy here. He put the guy's name down. I'm not calling him out. That's not my style, but if he is listening, I'm sure he knows that he's being called out at the moment.
That's crucial.
I'll give you his initials, Travis.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah, I know. See, he's the guy. Don't look at me.
That's it. Sammy the Bull Gravano.
He's absolutely the guy. If he doesn't come in one day, we'll know that it's because somebody finally whacked him. Somebody in the mafia finally whacked
I
him.
think that's what happens to Michael Phelps, not me.
With a string.
And with that, that'll do it for the Desmond Mason Show.
You put my name after that.
Brought to you proudly by Urban Johnny's.
Oh my God! Under the bus and backed up.
Public service announcement, Desmond
Knight.
Mason,
Suge
good
Knight.
friends with Michael Phelps.
Suge Knight.
What are you blaming me for?
Both you guys are just bad news.
No, hey, look. You threw it out there. It was time to rap. I mean, I don't know what to do.
Just let me know. Let me know when you're gonna throw me under the bus next time. I'll roll over and get out
No,
of the way.
hey, look, I'm much more comfortable stabbing you in the back than the front. Okay, that's how it works.
Because you could run.
Well, that's the first time I've ever been told that. I cannot run. All right, that'll be all. That'll be all, everybody.
So good.
No, that was fun.
I'm wide awake.
See, I'm glad. Aren't you glad you came in?
I am glad I came here. Get the knife on my back.
You knew. Yeah, before you lay down, make sure. You knew when he came in here, Todd, he was just like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh, my God.
I should just stay. I should totally stay. At least we made it worth his while.
You did. MP, man, get your life under control. Come on, man.
Desmond Mason, everybody.